So we're signing up 6-figure, 7-figure employment cases for literally $50, as weird as it sounds. So once you continue, keeping at it, the results compound. You'll get 100 views here on this first video, you get 50 views on your second video, third video will get 200 views, and that compounds. So you got to figure out what is the way that I'm capturing leads based on the things that I shared with you. What is going to be your number one traffic source? There's only 2 ways to generate clients.
Welcome to my legal academy, helping lawyers work smart, scale fast, and enjoy life.
All right, let's start off with traffic. All right, traffic just means where your clients are coming from. Everybody needs to have at least one traffic source, okay? And I always say one, because if you're trying to do 2 or 3 or 4 at a time, it's gonna make you less likely to have one that does well. Right now, do I have multiple traffic sources? Yes, I do, but I didn't start off with 4 or 5. Start off with one to make sure that I could be profitable, that I could scale it, that I could track it, that I could automate it. Then once I had all the ones, so I had clarity, especially with the tracking it part. Then I moved over to the second one. Then I focused on that one. Then I went to the third one. So, but for everybody, just make sure we want to scale up the easiest one you can scale up to a point where you are not making money from it. So let's try to give a little recap and let's give clarity about what is going to be your number one traffic source. All right. So there's only 2 ways to generate clients. There's organic and paid, right? Sounds familiar? Organic and paid. And everybody knows at this point. I don't know which one. Well, if you have more time, then it's going to be organic. If you have more money, it's going to be paid. There's pros and cons to both. Organic it's cheap. It doesn't cost much. It just costs your time or your team's time. Second is it compounds. Your organic content, especially if it's good, it will compound. That means once you create your one YouTube video, not only will you have that YouTube video that could be placed in front of people, but also when you start making your second video, that one could also be placed on top of people. That could be placed in front of your potential clients. So once you continue, keeping at it, the results compound. You'll get 100 views here on this first video, you get 50 views on your second video, third video will get 200 views, and that compounds. If you do the math, it literally compounds. That means it's slow growth beginning, but it compounds over time. The downside also, it's kind of harder to track. Does it work? Absolutely. But it requires you to focus on one traffic source. Again, that's the reason if you haven't been successful with organic is because you've probably been doing a little bit of Instagram, a little bit of TikTok, a little bit of YouTube, and you're just like, oh, it's not working because you're being average on all these platforms. Instead, if you go all in mentality and you have a clear goal, this year is going to be the year of YouTube. I'm going to post 3 videos per week. I'm going to dedicate to Wednesday mornings to dedicating to recording videos. I'm going to have somebody holding me accountable to it. That's the kind of mentality that it takes. Again, that's all in kind of mentality. Let's talk about paid. It's a lot more scalable and you're able to get in front of potential clients faster. Okay. You don't have to wait for this content to start being seen and showing on YouTube and Google and different things. It's just as soon as you put it up, you're on stage. Like, is this going to perform? A lot quicker results. And my favorite thing is super trackable to the dollar. To share with you, I spend about $600,000 a month on ads these days. I know everything to the dollar, literally to the penny if I really wanted to, but I'm not that crazy. But to the dollar, I know how much I'm spending on each source. I know, as I shared with you last time, I shared the behind the scenes, how many leads, how many qualified leads, what's my cost per qualified, how many clients, how many retainer agreements were sent out, and what's my cost per acquisition and ROI, which makes, again, very scalable. So again, we talked about, depends on whether you have time or money. If you're going to be doing paid, again, I'm going to give you guys the traffic kind of ladder. Start off with the easiest one. The easiest ones are Google Ads and Google LSA. That's by far the easiest one. It's the most likely to work, most likely. Not as scalable as the other sources, but it's the most likely one. It's the easiest one. You set it up, you have someone who's doing it for you. You should expect a couple of calls a day, hopefully multiple calls a day, and you're able to be profitable from that. If not, my favorite, Facebook ads and YouTube ads. I've been focusing on Facebook ads the last 3-4 years, took full advantage of it, still taking full advantage of it, still doing really well. Sometimes even better than before. I generate employment leads, and there used to be $20 a lead, and now they're $8 a lead for employment leads, and we're signing up about 5% of those leads. So we're signing up 6-figure, 7-figure employment cases for literally $50, as weird as it sounds. And then the other one is, a lot of people don't do, is YouTube ads. YouTube ads is essentially just TV ads of our generation. Okay, so those green ones are the paid sources. Which one works faster? It depends on the practice. And then on organic, there's very few limited kind of organic channels that I think are worthwhile. I just put one here, but I think I'll put two more. I'll add two more here. But number one, YouTube, by far the best. Number two, TikTok. Number three, your own community, whether it be a Facebook group or school community. It's somewhere that you create content and you bring people into your own community. Potential fourth one is Quora. Not that people do Quora, but that one is also very viable and very doable. And not that people are doing it, that one is totally viable. For now, all you're trying to do is you're trying to hone in on one. And then this third part is crucial. On an ongoing basis, you need to build an email list. This is kind of your asset, okay? Whatever you do, these things could change over time, but ultimately, all of these things should feed into your email list. All these people are basically going to one central place, like your database of leads, whether it be Active Campaign, whether it be Legal Funnel CRM, whether it be your Clio, whatever that is. You just want to make sure you're capturing those. Capturing is a part of it. And ideally, you're nurturing them. That means ideally they're hearing from you. You're not just capturing these emails and just like they're just sitting there. They're hearing from you once a month at the very least, if not once a week, sending them an email. So whatever it is, lock in what is my traffic source that I'm going to be focusing on. Again, what is your monthly budget? That's where I would start with this. Elizabeth, in regards to your question, let's tackle this because I think it could be universal. Elizabeth says, I have a good Facebook ads going. Okay, let's just stop right there. Good. So Elizabeth, I don't want to read the rest. So why don't you just scale that up? Why don't you just spend more, generate more, start referring out more, maybe expand to other states, other niches. You have something that's working. So I don't want to read this. I want you to scale this up to 50K a month, at least. And even then, you get to 50K a month, I'll still tell you the same thing. Go all the way until it just doesn't make sense. Really, essentially, basically, your ROI doesn't make sense. But I have a feeling you haven't tapped into this.
So don't think about Google LSA at all, or
no, you have a gold mine. You have something that's working for you. So why try to take a risk on something else when you already have something that's working?
Isn't it risky to, I'll give you one reason, because I lost my Facebook account for 2 months and I almost died.
Okay, so at the very least, go at least scale this up, scale up this budget. Then if you want diversify and protect yourself, sure. Then go do Google LSA also.
Okay.
But that's not until scale this up like crazy. You should hire 3 more intakers and double your budget.
Well, I need a much bigger team if I'm gonna do that.
Intakers, VA intakers. Doesn't take much.
No, I mean to handle the work.
Start referring them out, make some passive money. We'll talk about the referral stuff, but you get the idea. But don't. Again, this is a gold mine that you got something working, so capitalize on it while you have it. For these platforms that are being successful for you, ask yourself, what is working best for me that I could triple down on? And second question is, what is one thing I could stop doing for this traffic source? All right, let's go to the funnel. State of the Union. This is probably the most confusing and misunderstood part of this whole system. There's different funnels is one, and the funnels change over time. A lot of people get confused by this, and people think they need to have a ClickFunnels funnel to have a funnel. That's not the case. Since the beginning, whenever I talked about funnels, it was never about the ClickFunnels page. That's just one form of a funnel. Okay, that's just one form. As much as I'm concerned, a funnel is just a way for you to capture leads and qualify them. So you capture it so that you don't lose those leads forever. Essentially, it's a lead capture plus qualification. That's all a funnel is. How could you do it? Well, one way is through a landing page, a funnel, ClickFunnels page, where Legal Funnel CRM also offers. I know there were some questions in the community about that. Yes, Legal Funnel CRM has a funnel builder, same ideas. I believe I've already uploaded those funnels into Legal Funnel CRM. If not, let us know. It should be there. Or some people's funnels could just be going directly to booking a call with you. That means all your content and things just go directly to Calendly. That's a minimum viable funnel as much as I'm concerned. That's the ultimate goal. The only one crucial part of this is you're kind of missing the nurturing. If that's the case, when somebody does book a call with you, then on the thank you page, that's where you want to have a video. It's kind of like a reverse funnel. You get them to book, but now you nurture them with a video with social proof on that page. We talked about this again in the past. That could be one form of funnel. Or if you're capturing leads on Facebook, then it's your lead form that acts as your funnel. And again, these have changed. Back in the day, 2 or 3 years ago, you had to run ads, you had to create a ClickFunnels page and things to capture leads. But now these days, the best way to capture leads is lead form. So you got to figure out what is the way that I'm capturing leads based on the things that I shared with you, whether it be a landing page, going directly to a Calendly booking. If you're running ads, it's going to be lead form kind of funnels. You need to have some way to capture leads and ideally at the same time qualify them. Don't just capture name, email, phone number. It's fine. It's like standard. It's like minimum viable, minimum information that you want to collect. But ideally, you also collect information about what do they want, who are they, what different things, and those qualification questions. You want to optimize them. Third part is automation. As soon as the lead comes in, they have to be automatically texted. And notice I didn't say emailed because I realized that text is a lot more important than email. Text is great, but at the very least, we need to get the text. We need to get the text done before we get to email. Email is important too, but not as important as text. Different ways. Minimum viable way to do it is one platform is Funnel CRM. Doesn't have to be the only way, but it's the easiest way. We went through the whole motions. If anybody doesn't have a CRM for their leads and doesn't have automation set up, it's Funnel CRM. Ask our team about it. Different platforms, doesn't matter what, as long as you have something that automatically captures, tracks, and sends automated texts and emails to your leads as soon as they come in. OpenPhone has proven to be very good. There's some questions about integrations with OpenPhone and Funnel CRM, but basically, built up a database of support for Funnel CRM and the CRM. So based on that, AI will provide you the right responses. So that question was asked. So like how can I integrate OpenPhone home service with Funnel CRM? Looks like it was unable to provide that. All right, that one, I believe we covered it in our onboarding. Anybody who has, I don't want to share access to that onboarding. That's just for people who signed up for Funnel CRM. There was something, it was shared there. It was basically how to connect your phone to Funnel CRM. So if anybody was dealing with that, just get that sorted. That should be on that onboarding. If you don't have access to that onboarding, just ask our team for it. Again, to talk about as soon as the leads are captured, right? Capturing them, tracking them, and automatically being followed up via text and email.
Hey, hope you're enjoying the video so far. If you're a lawyer and you're looking to work smart, scale fast, and enjoy life, right below this video, you'll find a link to book a call to speak to my team so we can tell you how we've been able to help over 500 law firm owners scale their law firm. Now back to the video.
So this might be the one that you're probably going to be writing the most notes, okay? Go ahead and write my dream team will, by the end of this year, will look like this. Go ahead and write that down on your paper. And this is going to be broken down to your divisions. Very simple. You're on top. So you put your name on top. I'll just write it here. And you have different divisions. You're going to have your intake team. Intake team is just people who are qualifying and ideally setting up clients for you. Okay. You have your client onboarding team. There are people who are onboarding new clients for you. Then you have your filers, writers, doers, whatever that is. It's getting the process rolling. Then you have lawyer for reviews and approves. And then you have your client success. And then you have your business dev team. This is like a full-on team that you need.
Sam,
Yeah. Yeah,
What is
Elizabeth.
client success team?
Client success is somebody who just makes sure that your clients are being taken care of.
So like
Giving-
client, like customer service or client services or something.
Customer service, providing updates, has access to your CRM, knows what's going on. When clients are curious to know what's going on or what they need from me, they're just in charge of just staying on, giving updates, getting whatever that is. Make sure that the clients go through this pipeline.
Can I just ask you really quickly on that? We've recently had a couple of clients that have given a lot of pushback and they're like, I want to talk directly to the lawyer. I don't want to talk to this person. And fortunately, in my case, like there's like one type of case that I do hourly work. And I was like, you know what, that's totally fine because I charge more than twice what we charge for them. So if you want to ask me your stupid questions and I can pay, and you can pay me, way more to talk to me about this, that's fine. But like as a general plan, I don't want to do that, obviously.
Good.
How do you answer that?
Yeah, this has been discussed before. William, I know there's a couple of people who have been able to delegate that part out. If you can share your insights with everybody, please share with us. There's different ways to go about it. Right now, I'm going to ask also ChatGPT to see what it gives us. Yeah, Mike, I know there's a couple of us who've got over that hurdle. I don't remember. I have no idea what they're saying. I should probably ask them what they're saying.
I could speak to that.
Yeah, please.
So I get that all the time. And my staff tells them, we could have you talk to Miss Carol, but she is so busy, it may take a couple of weeks for her to get back to you. So that's why she asked me to call you, because she wanted to make sure that your needs were attended to promptly. And then my son works at my firm and he's been with me for 17 years. So then he tells him, well, look, I've been here for 17 years. I'm her son. And then they feel real good about that. But if you have somebody on your staff that is really good and knowledgeable, they can develop that trust with the client. But basically, I let them know, A, it's going to be more expensive, and B, you're not going to talk to Cynthia for a couple of weeks. You may as well talk to me. I could get you an answer in 24 hours.
That will do. How about this one? I completely understand your desire to speak with our attorney directly. However, the lawyer's schedule is currently very packed with casework to ensure we're providing the best service to our clients. In the meantime, I'm fully capable of and prepared to assist you with preliminary questions or concerns you may have. We also have a team of highly trained legal professionals who work closely with our lawyers. We can ensure that you're well taken care of and that any necessary information will be passed on to the attorney promptly. We appreciate your understanding. Rest assured that our ultimate goal is to provide you with the best possible service. One way to go about it. Another way is to just maybe keep it less limited. That means instead of leaving it wide open, maybe we only have Thursdays, limited time that you're able to, 15-minute slots or something like that, 20-minute slots that, if you feel like this is like a transition to help you get there, that's also another angle.
Sam?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, just my 2 cents on that. Every client I get from another lawyer, right, who's fired their prior lawyer, it's all about communication, right? And it's, my lawyer, literally, my lawyer never calls me back. And so, in that regard, like, even if it's just, if it's a problem client and they're talking, to you way too much, which we all have them, that's a problem, right? But to me, that's an outlier. The ones that are just like, oh, can I talk to the lawyer? If you just give them a little bit of time and, oh, you're there and you're an ear, pretty much it nips it in the bud, and then you're like, and I spin things like, well, for you, Elizabeth, I'm assigning my senior attorney and my senior paralegal to your case. I wanted to put the best in my office on your file, that type of stuff. And that you just give them a little bit of confidence that, people are listening to them. And that's all they want to hear is really listen, people to hear them. And that's how I do it. Honestly, yes, we do get an occasional client that abuses it and wants to talk way too much. But, once you solve them of their concerns, that their case is being, given the proper attention. And then, I hang up with them and then I make sure the paralegal calls them tomorrow. Did all your questions get answered by Attorney McMahon yesterday? Blah, blah, blah. Just give them a little bit of extra attention. Then those calls stop. Yeah, that's just my 2 cents.
So I wanted to also follow up I do a lot of my communications by email, and I had one client compliment me this weekend. She says, I can't believe the attorney answered me at 2 a.m. on the weekend. So, I don't like talking on the phone, but email I could do.
Elizabeth, did that help?
Yeah, I mean, I like some of it was for my practice isn't going to work just because I feel like that would be, if every client could talk to me, every client will talk to me all the time.
If you keep telling yourself that'll be the case.
Well, that's why like generally I just have a really strict rule that the answer is no. The answer is no, though. I'm not, I mean, and I kind of do what Cynthia mentioned at first, like, I just kind of push them off, like, look, if I'm giving you the answer that's coming directly from the attorney, like I can get you the answer quickly. If you want to wait to talk to the attorney, it could be several weeks. And most people are satisfied with that, but some people really push back and they like, I've had a couple of people get really angry about it. And we do go over like in our like initial orientation meeting where my paralegal meets with the client and like sets the expectation, but people are sometimes a pain in the butt.
Is there something that's happening on the front end that's setting these expectations?
Well, that's like, it's their first meeting after they've hired where we're like, this is how things work in our office. And we just sort of go through and like, we have a customer service person who answers the phones. And we also have to tell people, like, if you don't leave a message, then it's like you didn't call, just so you know. Like, we have to tell people that, like, don't just say I called 7 times. Like, well, it doesn't count if you didn't leave a message. So that kind of thing.
You make that very clear up front.
Yeah, we do, but
in writing.
Yep, we do that too. I mean, it doesn't like the problem is not that I feel like I'm worried I'm going to get someone that comes back to me and like files a complaint. I feel like I'm covered on that end. Like with a bar or something, it's more like, they blast you on Google or they get, like they like just drive your staff crazy and like get angry and whatever. That's my.
Yeah, I don't want to make this a big debate or anything, but I really don't like that answer. The attorney's so busy, he can't talk to you or she can't talk to you for weeks. Because the reason they want to talk to you is because they're worried their case is not being worked on, and they want a real person, a real attorney or a real person to work on solve their problem. So to say like, no, they're so busy they can't speak to you for weeks, reinforces in their brain that their problem is not going to be solved efficiently. And so there's got to be a way to spin that so it doesn't sound like pejorative against us, against the lawyers, Well,
it's like the attorney is busy because she's working on cases and so she's getting work done versus she is talking to clients to give like that's how like our team, like we give you the updates because it doesn't make sense for her to spend the time calling everyone to give them the updates.
Yeah.
It's better for her to work on cases and get work because, it's like what can, you just, I mean, my staff will tell them like, look, it's easy for me to talk to you. I can't work on, the customer service guy. Like I can't write your case.
Right.
But she can. And so she's getting the actual legal work done and I am, it's my job to give you updates and get information, get answers from you for like basic information.
Yeah, makes sense.
And Kellen shared a really good one. If your support team is strong, and actually no, the one before. The final point is to be clear with the client very early in the process, which is the standard here and the goal. The support team is supposed to be very effective at fulfilling the goal. Very good. If your support team is strong in terms of knowledge base and communication skills, the clients will not ask. Amazing. Got a lot of likes. Kristen says, client calls, I want to talk to the attorney. Great. The first available appointment for status calls is September 10th. Oh my goodness. Is there a specific question you would like to get addressed? Sounds like a doctor's office. All right, let's take those things, Elizabeth. I believe this was brought up before too.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. So let's make some changes. All right, going back to our team. All right, so this is a robust team. So write those different departments down. Okay, so we have the intake team, we have the client onboarding team, we have the filers, the writers, the doers, depending on whatever your practice type and needs to be done. Then you have somebody who reviews it, approves it, files it, and then ideally this third and fifth essentially are the same thing. It's just client success, somebody who's essentially doing most of the tedious work essentially. And then you have your business development team, somebody who's very, different things. You're a technical person, your assistant, your specialized marketing person. It's your miscellaneous kind of things that help you grow the law firm. The first one is crucial. Okay. This one, we've talked about this a lot. Somebody either in-house or virtual who knows how to qualifies leads for you, and ideally can send the retainer agreement and get them signed up. It is completely possible. Again, it takes some time. It takes SOPs. It requires training. It requires finding the right person, but this is doable. Doesn't matter how crazy your niche is. And obviously there are some niches that are practice types that are harder than others. That's fine, but we should still strive for it, and we should continue to strive to find the right person who can do this. And I've seen it all. Every practice type I've seen somebody be able to replace themselves. So for that, also, again, this is an intake team. It's just somebody, who is this? Is like somebody who's good at talking. Okay, sales. And you're not limited to Philippines for this. I'll probably stay away from Philippines potentially for intake team. I like Spanish-speaking countries. They're usually good talkers, different kind of culture, or US is fine too. You can afford it. Second is client onboarding team. Okay, somebody who's good at writing. This is definitely Philippines. Somebody who just can take care of your clients via email, via text, whatever that is. Like what are the things? I don't know if you guys remember module 2. Essentially, it's like these are all the things that I'm currently doing, and these are things that I'd like to delegate out. Then we kind of categorize those things so we can create different position titles. Once you create position titles, we come up with like 3 things that they're going to be doing. You create a goal for them, an incentive. It's essentially this. And then you have your filer, writer, doers. There's plenty of these. You train them. It's everything, anything, any task could be trained. Doesn't matter what it is, how complex it is. You build that expertise over time. They don't just come and start doing immigration for you. You just start off with like one type of immigration, one filing, and then over time you build them up, and the rest is the same idea. So wherever you're missing, wherever you have a hole, is what you need to be essentially where you're going to be focusing on for the next month and to hire for this. Again, best source is Upwork by far. If not, via agencies. Really doesn't matter as long as you get it. If you have time, Upwork. If you don't have time, via agency. Go fill in these roles. What I like doing, I like the hybrid. Kind of like the core team or the managers or the directors are in-house. And then the day-to-day operators or virtual. What sources do you suggest to train intakers? Valeria? Well, one is make sure that they're good. That means they have experience. Again, with this one, experience really, really matters. I learned this the hard way. Experience really matters. The longer they've done sales, the better. So make sure that they're good, they have experience, they're a little bit older, seasoned, things like that. And then second is you give them an SOP of how the calls should be taken. That means you record your own calls, especially the successful ones, the ones that actually turn into clients. You record those. You turn that into a script or SOP. You have them sit in on a couple of those calls that you do. Have them watch those recordings, and over time, they're going to get better. They're not going to be as good as you, but over time, if you have the right person and you have the right trainings, then they'll get the flow down. For that, I like having 2 people so I could find out who's better. I'll dedicate another session just for the math. Again, the tracking in a very granular level, and also on a macro level, which I've shared sheets and stuff, but I'll save that. We'll save that for another time. This is it. Nothing else matters. As you can see, there's no other tools. There's no mention of AppSumo here and this tool and that tool and this AI tool. There's none of that in here. This is it. This is, you want to grow your firm. You want to make sure you have one traffic source down that's scalable, that you're tracking, that you're making money from, and you're spending as much of it as you can before you move over to traffic source 2. Second is you want to have a place to capture those leads in your own database. So ideally, you're nurturing them over time. Third is, as soon as the lead comes in, they need to receive an automated text. You shared those resources. If you don't know what the particular text should say, let me know. These things change and I'm learning new things. I can actually, no, I'll save that for something else.